even being diagnosed was part of that push, because I didn't believe in stopping. I didn't believe in reflecting on emotional stress, physical stress, mental stress. Everything was, I'll deal with it later because I have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that that's one of the one of the things that those three things contributed to eventually me being diagnosed with bone cancer, because you bury things, and when you bury things down to your core, they eventually make its way into your bones.
Wow.
Okay, that's your skeletal. That's the thing that holds you together.
Mm.
So if that is destroyed, then I'm no longer valuable.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So because from what I do and how I build and the way I work, it's the body for me that makes me successful. And I'm not saying like what I mean is for what I do in my career,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
my physical that makes me successful. So once that's destroyed, then my value decreases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
end up feeling, now comes the mental part, because now I can't do what I used to do physically.
Right. Right.
So now it's just a downhill spiral of destruction. So
Yeah.
and I believe that, since then I've been able to do a lot of things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually enjoying what I do a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I look for new directions. I look at new ways of working smarter, not harder,
Yeah.
so that I can enjoy those moments and enjoy my family time and not want to be passed out and, you know, and enjoying some me time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really learning what that does have some value.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to those me time moments. Even if it's 15 minutes, I really look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So important. And it's all through just listening to your body, because our body, like I said, is always sending us messages
mhm.
as if, are we listening?
There
Or
you
but
go.
before we get, if you get the flu or something like that, usually there's some type of sign that your body's like, listen, you got to slow down and rest.
Right.
But
We're
the
taught to
thing
push
is,
through
we want to push through it, right?
it.
And this actually leads perfectly into what I wanted to bring up. What you also mentioned in your book is about release. Allow something to move, act, or flow freely. And I kind of tied this in with this whole thing of putting trust in how putting your trust into God, your creator, something bigger than you. There
Mhm.
is a release that comes with that, the burden of, I must do this alone by myself. That's kind of what I was thinking of in reading this part. The action or process of releasing or being released. And this is talking about release, as you say in your book, release, this has to be one of the hardest things for us to do. I don't mean forgiveness, although sometimes they go hand in hand. I'm referring to releasing the things in your life that you feel you need to control. Can you talk to us a little bit about that part in your 12 days with God?
Well, that's one of the biggest chapters for me when I
Mm-hmm.
wrote that, because, as I mentioned before, uh, I was always in control of everything. Every move I made. Okay, if I didn't like it, I didn't move in that direction. But I talk about it because a lot of people take control of things that they really have no control over. Okay, we're prime example.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to raise our children, not control them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one day they're going to want to leave, and they're going to marry someone you may not be okay with.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to move to a city that you probably aren't happy with them living in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you continue to try to control those movements that they make, then they're going to go farther and farther away from you. To
Right.
eventually you lose them entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for me, there was things that I had to release, past emotions. Okay, because those emotions were controlling me,
Mm-hmm.
because I was controlling the emotion by holding on to it.
Right.
Okay, when I really didn't have to. Okay, all I had to do was say, it's over. Let me talk about what it was. My release came from dealing with it, talking about it, and then
Mm-hmm.
letting it out, speaking it out. Because that's the other thing, we're taught not to speak,
Mm-hmm.
be seen, not heard. Okay, so I had to learn how to speak what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm hurt. This made me mad. This pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I get from it? How do I reflect on it? Now I can release it, and now it has no more value over me because I
Right.
dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I released control of it because
Mm-hmm.
I used to hold it. I used to
Mm-hmm.
hold anger inside, and after, like I said, after my therapy sessions and after a lot of soul searching and countless nights up, I started to realize why I was so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for another story down the road, but I found out why I was so angry. And through that anger became a part of me, but it also became a controlling part
Mm-hmm.
where I try to control everything else because that's where my safe haven was.
Mm-hmm.
I can control all of my movements of everything and everyone around me, then I'm good. Okay. And like I said, when I used to call people, wake them up in the morning. You don't want to make money the way I want to make it. What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, Dev. I got to take my kids to school. Oh, they'll be okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be a little late, but I try to control things. But I realized that all it was doing was creating more of a problem for me. Because then if you didn't do what I needed you to do, now you became someone I didn't want to deal with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's not really, sometimes you got to release things in the world, people,
Yeah.
and sometimes those people might be family,
Mm-hmm.
close people,
Right.
so-called your blood,
Mm-hmm.
and those emotions, the things that they might do, you might not be okay with. And so you hold on to that for so long because now you have to still try to treat them as family,
Mm-hmm.
try to be respectful of them, but you really
Mm-hmm.
want to curse them out.
Right.
You really want to tell them what you're really feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that because they're family. And if
Right.
you do it, it might end up creating a problem in the family, in
Mm-hmm.
the circle. So you release that emotion, you release that feeling. Okay, you know what? I didn't like what you did, but it's not going to affect how I maneuver through my life right now.
Right.
Okay, eventually you'll either see the error of your ways or maybe you won't.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, I still love you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I may not want to come around you, I'll love you from afar, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how you can move through life, excuse me, and not have those burdens and those things weighing on you.
Right.
Okay, because people, excuse me, people tend to hold on too much to what people have done to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's some of it is rightfully so to be able to do so. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, I rather have someone be very nasty to me in my
Mm-hmm.
face. That way I know how to approach you when I have to deal with you.
Very true.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is say, you know what? I see you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for exposing yourself to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for letting me see the person I have to deal with. So therefore, moving forward, this is how we're going to deal with each other.
Right.
Instead of being angry, frustrated, none of us have enough time for that. There's not enough
Mm-hmm.
time in this earth to be angry and judgmental and having resentment towards people.
Right.
I mean,
That's so true.
it's not even about. You can go into the whole love walk thing,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just say, "I don't have time for your nonsense."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my approach.
Right.
I don't have time to deal with your nonsense. If you're wallowing in your own misery, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
I got other things to do
Right.
but my peace and my mindset is first
Mm-hmm.
because you want to be able to walk through life peacefully. I mean,
Come to